Rob Breaux Show here on YouTube Live and Twitter Live. Welcome in if you're watching. We got the camera higher than the computer lower than the camera. We'll figure it out. It's the first time. Welcome in. I have been on the radio for, 8 years, almost. Now we're YouTube sensations. So thank you for joining in. It's been about a week since I've been on air. I've been meaning. I've been feeling like I need to get back. I was going to take 2 weeks off. Screw it. We took 1 week off. We're back. We got the music loud. The camera's up. No, it'll get better a little bit of time. Looking cherubic this morning. I do look a little red. Glowy. It's the light. I've got a little light here. Cherubic? How do you say that? Cherubic? Spencer says, what a beautiful morning to have the Rob Breaux Show back. Big Haney style says, Rob, hope your first show goes well. Glad to have you back in here. He is this guy. Big guy. Not big, but turn the music down. Yeah, we got it. Pop the music too loud. We're back. Figure it out. Sometimes you get the headphones on. You don't know. All right. I am the host. You are the co-host. You can join in the comments section on YouTube. I don't know that I'll be able to see the Twitter questions or comments, but you can also watch on Twitter. We'll have a good time. Luke says, I haven't been up this early in years. Me neither. I don't know why I started this show at 8 a.m. I do not get up normally this early, or at least early enough to get this going. But you know what? We'll figure it out. I feel like I've said we'll figure it out a bunch of times already, but we will figure it out. Chris Kleiman got paid yesterday. $5.5 million per year over 5 years. This is the most money a Kansas State coach has ever gotten, I'm sure. I did not look this up, but I think, Bill Snyder was paid in like peanuts and the souls of JUCO recruits. So I do not know. I think maybe $4 million was his final contract. And that was going into 2018. Then he had a few more years, but did not last that full contract. If it was 4, right? If he got $4 million a year, this is 5.5 over 5. Just a ridiculous, huge contract over 8, whatever it was. Very big for Kansas State. Not only big for Chris Kleiman, sure, personally, great for Chris Kleiman. Wonderful. Feel good for you, man. That's nice. Get paid. I'm trying to get paid. We're all trying to get paid. And I feel like Chris Kleiman is in a perfect spot for him. And not only is that good for Chris Kleiman, that's good for Kansas State, and that's good for the Big 12. Great for the Big 12. Let me tell you why. Chris Kleiman getting 5.5 at Kansas State gets Leipold more money, even though he just got paid. Gets the next coach at Houston more money. I don't think it'll get Dana more money. We'll talk about that in a second. It gets Gundy potentially back up above Kleiman, if he's not already. All of these coaches could talk. Kentucky? I need to learn the BYU's coach name. Oh, man. Everyone else in the Big 12. And the guy locally, Joey McGuire. Joey, if he wins the Big 12 this year, I'm not saying he will, but if he does, he'll get paid again. Oh, he just got a raise. Yeah, he'll get another one because people are coming. People are coming for him. All right. Something we do on Mondays, every single Monday, it'll be Overreaction Monday. So overreaction for this Monday, Chris Kleiman's 5.5 is going to get Joey 6. And if it's not this year, it's next. Because there is a sweepstakes happening, in my opinion, for the next big guy, the next Joey. And some would say this guy was the first Joey, Jeff Traylor. Okay? Jeff Traylor is going to coach at a big university in Texas. I think Sark is going to be fine at Texas. He'll be in the SEC. Old Jimbo Fisher, I don't know if he'll last at A&M. I really don't. He sucks. he just hired his old buddy from Arkansas. It's not going to work out. It won't. Jimbo and that thing going on down there is not going to work. Houston is a big university. Now, say what you want. Cougar High, AAC, coming into the Big 12. They're not a big. They're legit. Okay. And while I'm not scared of Houston in the Big 12 with Dana Holgorsen, I'm terrified of Houston in the Big 12 with Jeff Traylor. And if Jeff Traylor takes the Houston job, if Dana gets fired first, if Jimbo gets fired second, and Jeff Traylor ends up by some wacky circumstance in Houston, Houston can pay. And what you're doing is setting a market. And this 5.5 is the market for the new Big 12. And I am shocked. Okay? Legitimately shocked. I'll say it again, that Kansas State was the one that dropped the hammer first of these new Big 12 schools, or the old Big 12 schools, the new. Whatever you want to say, these legacy Big 12 programs coming in, I did not think that it would be Kansas State that would take the leap. A couple of comments here. Traylor would kill it at UH, but I'm not sure going to UH is worth leaving what he has at UTSA. It is. Let me tell you why. A, Big 12. 2, Big 12. 3, it's Houston. And Tillman Fertitta has a ton of money. Fertitta? Let's call the whole thing off. The butts or whatever at the HEB people, they have a little money, but they are not pouring it into UTSA. Houston has money, and they're about to get more money. Well, that could be a long way off. We'll not get into that today. But Texas Tech and Houston are on a different playing field than UTSA, and they don't have facilities like Houston and Texas Tech. They don't have opportunities. They don't have the recruiting prowess. They recruit great there for UTSA. Yeah, that's another point. Sonny just extended. You could argue that TCU did it first, but that's coming off a national championship appearance. And I know Kleiman just won the Big 12, and TCU did it after year one. You could argue that TCU did it first, but TCU is not a surprise to me. And this is Overreaction Monday. I am shocked that Kansas State also did it. How about that, JD? I just did not think that Kansas State, and I'm not like calling them poor or anything, but they just don't normally. It's not that they don't normally. They've never spent $5 million on a coach. 5.5 over 8 years. I mean, that is a huge commitment, and 8 years is a big time. Big time. Chase says there's more faith in Kansas State's future than TCU's. Yeah, but that's a different conversation. I do agree. Not an overreaction, but Jason Isbell was incredible last night. Hey, let me speak on that for a second. I was at the show. The Buddy Holly Hall is incredible. Isbell joked that it looked like the Star Wars Intergalactic Senate. And it does a little bit. And Isbell might be a bad example because he's been in Lubbock. He played at the Blue Light. He played at Cactus Theater. But this is the kind of artist that you get through Lubbock that you just didn't before. At his pace, he kind of grew with Lubbock and the music scene here. But all these other people coming through. And if you're a musical person, they do musicals there. it's an amazing venue and an amazing atmosphere. All right. Joey McGuire is going to get paid, and he's already been paid a little. I thought they hired him at a low rate, which I didn't bother me because he was a high school coach, right? High school coach, Baylor assistant, hadn't been a head coach yet. Let's just get him in, see what he does. Excels year one. He gets a raise, but he's still under market value, in my opinion. And TCU and Oklahoma State. Now, Oklahoma State's a little different too because he's been there 20 years. Gundy's been there 20 years. That's really, he's not making enough. When you talk about, getting raises every couple years and where he started and where he is now. I mean, he's making plenty, probably too much, but. And then you have Dykes, who just got a raise, and then Kleiman, who just got a raise. Leipold just got a raise. That's another thing. Joey is already next. If they have success, if Texas Tech has success, he's already next. Because I think TCU shot at the top of what they're going to do for a while. I think Kleiman is definitely at the top of what Kansas State wants to do. Even if they win another Big 12 championship, they're not going to give him another raise. Back-to-back would be awesome for Kansas State and Kleiman, but unless there's like a legitimate threat to Kansas State next year and Chris Kleiman, and I'm talking hiring, like let's say Jimbo does get fired, and Houston's already fired Dana, and Houston hires Jeff Traylor, which would be terrifying. I mean, is A&M coming for Chris Kleiman? I think there's other people that they're probably coming for, but it's not Chris Kleiman. And I'm not saying Chris Kleiman is not a great coach because he is. He's just in a perfect fit. Now, coming from North Dakota State to Kansas State, you don't really have that regional draw of a major university. Yes, Luke, they would be coming for Joey, but I didn't want to say it out loud. Extend Neil Brown. Overreaction Monday. Yes. Yes, Neil Brown. You spelled it wrong. It's Kneel. Neil Brown. Yeah. I really need A&M to succeed because that would be the one school where I would be worried about some other things happening. All right. Moving on, the Texas Rangers are good. That's an overreaction for this Overreaction Monday, and I don't know that it's an overreaction. The Texas Rangers, through May 27th last year, had 20 wins. May 27th. They got their 20th win yesterday on May 7th. May 7th, May 27th, they had 20 extra days last year to get to the same win total, and you don't need a great bullpen when you score 10 more runs than the other team. And that's what they do more often than not. It is ridiculous. Ryan says, normal reaction Monday, the Rangers are good. Yeah, maybe I should say overreaction Monday, the Rangers are great. I still don't think that the Rangers will win this division, but that's just like normal fan, hey, let's not get too crazy kind of stuff. They could absolutely win this division. There, I said it. Now, there are a few things that have to be done to keep the pace. You have to find 2 or 3 more bullpen arms. Aaron says, go Astros. Yeah. You have to find more bullpen arms. Whether that's bringing up a guy like, I don't know, Kumar Rocker, or making trades, which you absolutely need to make trades. But there's also other things that need to happen on the field, or at least continue to happen. Now, Ezekiel Duran has been really good. Okay. But his stats do not measure out to be sustainable or consistent. He is a lot more like the player he was at the end of last year, than the player he currently is. His ground ball rate is astronomical, which means he's getting a lot of hits right now that generally would not be hits. Now, he mashes the ball. Mashes. It just goes into the ground. And if you can hit that hard, they're going to find holes, okay? You're going to get ground ball holes, and you're going to get on base. But what happens when there's 3 weeks straight when you're just hitting atom balls right at them? Shortstop, second base, third base, you're just mashing the ball right into somebody. Ryan, no. Ryan's, oh man, Ryan says, bring me Aroldis. I mean, if I could have one reliever back, I don't know how he's doing right now. And I know Aroldis Chapman didn't pitch for Texas. If I could have one guy back, it'd be Emmanuel Clase. First of all, name was great. Second of all, and this is going to make Ryan mad, that was John Daniels' worst move in the history of his moves. John Daniels, instead of going all in on the tank or the rebuild, whatever you want to call it. Oh, yeah, Ryan, that was an ownership trade. Okay. They did want to spend the money, but they said go find somebody. And he traded Emmanuel Clase for Corey Kluber. And I know injuries suck and whatever else, but man. All right, let's get a few more comments here. Sorry for joining late. Good morning. Good morning. Handwritten letters of apology. I don't know what that. I'm not apologizing for anything. The Astros suck. I don't care. I like the new format, Rob. Glad you have a face cam because it's nice to see your expression and the way you work. Can you speak on Bronny James to USC? Also Fisher to DePaul. Cannot believe Bronny James did not come to Texas Tech. They didn't recruit him or want him, but, you know, it would have been fun. To USC, close to dad, I guess. He's going to play 2 years. He might play 1 year, and LeBron will just meet him somewhere. Depending on how the Lakers finish in this. Hey, by the way, Darvin Ham. Overreaction Monday, Darvin Ham's a good coach. How about that? I mean, I'm not watching the Lakers much, but they're still in it. And Fisher to DePaul. Yeah, I thought he would go north. Closer to home. Yeah. I thought he would go north. I thought he would go smaller university. I mean, getting out of high school on the AAU circuit and coming straight to Texas Tech, that is this huge, expansive campus, and 40,000, students around campus. It's quite the culture shock, especially from Canada. And it's not like he's, going to Kazakhstan that doesn't speak the language, but it is a culture shock. And I think going back, I don't know how many students DePaul has, but I'm sure it's a more intimate campus. And I think some guys just prefer that. Calvin says Matt Moore. Matt Moore in the bullpen now? Or is he a bad trade? I don't remember. They need another starter after DeGrom. Hey, Dane Dunning, baby. Dane Dunning. Matt Moore's almost one more bullpen arm already with the Angels. Oh, yeah. Okay, he is with the Angels. I did see that this weekend. I mean, there's a lot of I'm down. There's a lot of the AL West has a lot of trading inside of it. So maybe so. From the windy plains to the windy city, he fits better in Chicago. Yeah, I think so. And yeah, DePaul, Chicago. But I think more so just the campus. I think that's a better fit. And, Big East basketball is a different feel than Big 12 basketball, and I think he'll fit better there. Welcome, Chad. Dealing Dane Dunning. Absolutely. Hey, that was a masterful start. Evaldi's been incredible too. And again, you don't need your bullpen when you score 7 and 8 runs in the 7th and 8th innings and beat a team 16-8. Your bullpen can give up a couple of home runs. Just mash. And I don't know if that is sustainable either, but we'll see. Give me Emmanuel Clase back. Give me Matt Moore. I'll agree with the comments. Josh Young needs to stay consistent, hit for power. And by the way, you are getting Corey Seager back. So there you go. Let's see. This from Aaron, and this brings me up to my next point. By the way, this is the Rob Breaux Show. If you're on YouTube, smash that like button, hit subscribe. It's the Gambling Gaucho's YouTube channel. I don't know how to do this. I'm a radio guy. I've never had to do that kind of stuff. Well, we do it as a bit on the Gaucho sometimes, but truly, if you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe down there, and we will be off and running every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will be live here at 8 a.m., and then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll put out, 10, 15 minutes of pre-recorded content. We'll try to go about 30 minutes. So I've got about 5 minutes left here. We're going to talk about Grant McCasland. And this comment next: has local media had any access to Coach McCasland? I've not seen many or any sit-downs or anything else. I don't know that anybody has tried. I have not tried to interview Grant McCasland. But I will say this: overreaction Monday. And I don't know why it feels like an overreaction, but Grant McCasland is fine. It feels like an overreaction because everyone's freaking out. And I know Twitter is not real life, and Twitter is a microcosm of what real life is. But it does feel like there is a lot of uncertainty around Grant McCasland. And I don't know if I just want to blame Mark Adams because of how that finished, or if there's some legitimacy here, but there have been reports, and I think maybe I don't want to miscredit it. I think it was Ben Golan, but there was a report that said that Adams, left the program in disarray, and there were some issues with visits, and you could get a certain amount of visits if you didn't have a full staff during a transition. So next Monday, I am setting it right now. If there is not a full staff by next Monday, that is post-portal. If there is not a complete staff by the time we record next Monday, or at least the end of next Monday, I will be overreacting to that. But, excuse me, I need to warm my voice back up. It's been a while since I talked for 30 straight minutes. What was I saying? Grant McCasland. Grant McCasland has been seen out and about, guys. He's been out there. He went to Evie Mays, no free ads. He's been sighted on campus. There was a couple of comments that he was walking around campus and they took some pictures with him. Wonderful. And that is not nothing. Okay, people are like, what is he doing? He's doing nothing. That is not nothing. They had some visits this weekend. He's 2 for 2 so far on visits to commits. We'll see if these two get committed. Surely you're not going to commit every visit. But that's where we are in Grant McCasland. And again, being cited and taking pictures with the entire staff of Evie Mays is not nothing. We just went to a restaurant. Yeah, but when Joey does that stuff, people freak out, right? Oh, he's a man of the people. He's out there, out and about. People love Joey McGuire. He's shaking hands and kissing babies, baby. Well, we need to give Grant McCasland some time to be a man of the people. And I do. I think these selfies with students and people back on campus for graduation and all of the other stuff, the selfies out at restaurants, that's good for Grant McCasland's image because he's not done much for his image yet. He had the introductory press conference and a photo at Evie Mays. He's not Joey. We know that so far. But if he can beat Grant McCasland and get a team on board and hire a staff, I'm trying not to be overreacty about the staff because, I said in the middle of April, if it's May, I'll be pretty worried. And here we are on May 8th, and I'm still trying to say, I'm not worried. But I obviously I am. But there are some things, right, that he's done and is doing and is recruiting and is having visits. So he's not doing nothing. He's not doing nothing. He's not doing nothing. We need to write it on the board. By the way, this was in the Talk 1039 studio for, 5-6 years. I drew that Patrick Mahomes when he was drafted, 2017. It's been there. Need to make it permanent. All right, that's the show. Like, subscribe. I want to appreciate everyone who tuned in. This was a lot of fun, everyone who commented. We will see you live on Wednesday. Peace and blessings. I don't know. That's not a good close. On the radio, I said, I've been Rob Breaux. I'll be Rob Breaux. We'll see you then. That always felt cheesy to me. Maybe we'll keep it. All right. Yes, he does have the Trogdor arm. Thank you. Wonderful. Trogdor is the only thing I can draw, so I had to do that. All right. See you guys.